Hello! I've made it to the beautiful Shortheath Common. Can you see the lovely heather behind me? Made it in time for our last sculpture, so this is sculpture number 7 out of 7. Now if you come to Shortheath, you'll probably come to the main car park, which is behind me, and you'll walk round the pond and down the track until you get here. And we're going to walk you up towards the sculpture from that path. Now I'd say that this sculpture is probably quite good to come and find if you want a little bit of a walk from the car park. It's a bit further than some of the other sculptures that we've been to, so yeah, a nice one for the family. And actually, as you come out the end of the reserve here, there's actually a play park in Oakhanger, which you could go and visit afterwards if you wanted to. So I am here with Steve.
Hello.
So Steve, just tell us a bit about your role and what you do with Shortheath Common.
Yeah, so I'm the ranger for Shortheath. I work for County Council's Countryside Service. So we do all sorts of things up at Shortheath: habitat management, surveys, much the same as most of the other sites I would imagine that you visited. Lots of practical habitat management. We have maybe a couple of different habitats maybe here. We've got a lot more grassy heath, and we've got a really big mire and quaking bog, which is the subject of the sculpture that we're going to go and have a look at in a moment.
Yeah, so this sculpture differs quite a lot from the other ones, because the idea is it captures water to represent that bog, which actually we can see quite well from here. I don't know if you can see it that well on my phone, but we'll go down in a little bit and check it out a bit closer.
Yeah, take a closer look.
Yes. So we're coming down the lovely path towards. Feels like it's getting a bit woody down here.
Yeah, we've got lots of these cool stunted oaks on Shortheath, which are quite often covered in lichens. It shows the air quality is really good around here.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, there's a nice one just on the left actually here. I don't know why they're stunted, I just guess it's the habitat is kind of so poor in nutrient. There's one.
Oh yeah, show us.
It's got these sort of low growth forms, but it's
Yeah.
really big at the bottom. There's quite a few more that you'll pass as you come to here from the car park.
Steve, you couldn't stand next to it, could you? Just give us a bit
To
of
give you an
perspective. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it is really low.
It is very low. Yeah, there's quite a few of those. They're quite attractive all over Shortheath.
You know, I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, well, there's some more back there. Look. There's the sculpture.
Here it is, lurking to the side of the path.
Right.
So it was designed with these dips in it to represent the mire. So when we go down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the sphagnum causes that. The bank hair. They make these big mounds, and then in other parts of the mire where it gets a little bit drier, the Millennia tussocks form that. So it is quite undulating, and in amongst where the sphagnum and the bank haircut mosses are, particularly amongst sphagnum, you start to get little pools, which is sort of the artist's inspiration, was with these, to put these little pools on.
So the cranberry plant, which is what this sculpture represents,
Yes.
it's quite rare, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very rare in the southeast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much more common in the north, but yeah, it's definitely a regional rarity. Very rare in the southeast. Yeah, it's particular specialty at Shortheath, or it reflects in many ways what's special about the site.
Yeah.
The quaking bog and the mires is really cool. There's mires all over the place, but in this area on the heaths. But this one's really quite special. And it's got other rare plants as well within it, not just the cranberry. It's got white beech sedge.
Yeah.
there's sundews out there as well, which are in many places, but they're mixed in here. It's really quite nice to see.
So what actually is a quaking bog?
Well, I think it sort of floats
Oh.
on a watery surface. It's like if you go on it and you bounce like this, it will bounce with you. It's like a waterbed.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds quite dangerous.
It is relatively dangerous, yeah. We'd never ever encourage anybody to go out on it, and we have to go out on it for management purposes, but we pick our route and we know the times of year with which it's safest to go out. But it's not just a bit dangerous, it's also quite sensitive.
Yeah.
So it's best if people don't go out on it. But that was one of the reasons for having this, is it's not an opportunity. That habitat is something that people don't have the opportunity to go and spend much time in. So this is just sort of reconnecting people with habitat.
Understand what is just over there.
Yeah, just over the rise.
Yeah, okay. And lucky enough, because we are with Steve, and Steve knows what he's doing, we are going to head over to just the edge of the bog and the mire and take a bit of a closer look at this really special plant.
Yeah.
So I'll let you lead the way, Steve, because...
Okay, we'll go this way and pick our way across. Yeah, so the mire's really great, but we've got loads of other great habitats as well. We've got some really cool grass and dry heath. Very good for reptiles. We've got adders, grass snakes, lizards here, lower, and here we've got field crickets as well. So, which is a sort of endangered insect, and we do a fair bit of management for those things, including putting in this, which is a scrape that was put in that's been revegetating.
So what is a scrape then, Steve?
So a lot of heath and wildlife, they rely on bare ground basically. They use it in various means. They're like they might like it to be exceptionally warm, so they need no vegetative cover. They might use it for egg laying or various things. The field crickets, they actually like it after 2 or 3 years. So where they come into these little tufts, a bit like this, and they sort of dig in a little burrow, and it ends up, they go straight in and then they go straight down. It's the males that do it. They're vertical shaft. They graze a little lawn outside the front, which is how you work out if it's one of their burrows or not.
Ah.
And then they come out and they sing from that throughout the summer, particularly in the evenings. They're finished now essentially. The young might be about getting ready to overwinter. But yeah, so we make the scrapes in because it's got a various range of benefits for lots of wildlife. Woodlarks, for example, like it really short as well, so they might use it after 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, and really interesting because we were talking about our field cricket earlier down at Pulborough.
Oh yeah.
So we're all the way up in Hampshire now, and they've got the field cricket up here, which is great news.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Nikki says, love the sculpture. Thank you, Nikki. Any questions, just drop them into the comments and me and Steve will have our best go at trying to answer them. Just heading over towards the edge of the bog now, in the safe hands of Steve.
This is it, we're on the edge of it now. We've got sort of well, you can see how it phases in. So we've got this dry heath here that comes into this slightly drier ridge, which is where a lot of this plant is, the Millennia, which is growing the tussock ciss-grass. And then it gradually, you got all this big bank haircat mosses, and then after that you get some of the you get the dry patches where there's a bit more ling, but also you get cross-leaved heath, and then it gets wetter still, then you start to get the sundews and the white beech sedge, which is over in that far corner, and more of the sphagnum.
It's quite amazing, isn't it, how the the bog kind of then turns into this lovely mound of heath over here.
Yeah, it does. Well, that's an island there, and there's quite a few of those islands.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they separate the mire out. The water flows from the top corner over there. Where am I fingering? That's it, over there.
Over there.
And it flows across here, right to this bottom corner over here, and the vegetation noticeably changes as it moves through it. The cranberry, even though it's very rare in the southeast, is pretty much ubiquitous on the Mire.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a bit here, some I prepared earlier. And there's the cranberries.
Oh yeah. So Laura says, are the cranberries edible?
Yeah, I expect so.
Mm.
Never. Well, you know what I say, I haven't tried them. I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
They just taste like a cranberry, I'm guessing.
Yeah. They do. And this is the plant. It's a sort of a scrambling thing. That sort of it kind of scrambles over the top of all the rest of the vegetation.
All those lumps and bumps, it kind of is all over the top, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And it grows little flowers on it, which are sort of pinky red, and they look like cyclamen flowers.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they've finished now, and that's why we've got the cranberries out.
Yeah. But we probably wouldn't. We'd ask people to leave the cranberries well alone, wouldn't we? I think.
Yeah. There's sort of laws and regulations around foraging on triple SIs, and so yeah, we'd never condone that here.
So what's a triple SI?
Site of special scientific interest.
Okay.
Yeah. So we manage short heath in order to maximise its wildlife and sort of ecosystem services benefit.
Yeah.
And legally we're sort of bound to improve it within the criteria set out by the Triple SI, and we work closely with partners like Natural Heath and Tree United to kind of achieve those aims. So it's very much what we do is for improvements to wildlife. Here as well, it's worth noting that this will be a massive carbon store.
Oh, okay.
Mires and bogs are very, very effective at storing carbon because it's essentially locked in heat.
Okay.
Within it. So it's not only that, and you get excellent water control from something like this. So it's soaking up the water and then releases it like a sponge. So it sort of, once it gets saturated, it then lets it out.
Yeah.
So it's sort of very gradual. So not only is this fantastic for wildlife, it's actually benefiting community and the people of Hampshire in additional ways.
Yeah, and maybe that's why we've got that lichen you were talking about earlier with the,
with the air quality.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. I guess it's close to any.
Yeah. Graham, for your lovely comment. Sorry, frog in my throat. Kate's also asked us, why don't cranberries grow in just any old wet area?
Yeah, good point. I don't know why they're just here. I mean, they're like sphagnum bogs, it says in rows. Mm-hmm. So that would make sense. You get it in the west and the north. It is wetter and more acidic.
Yeah.
Well, the substrate's usually more acidic. There is. I guess in the southeast, it's just less opportunity, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I found this sphagnum in one of the other mires on Short Heath. There are a couple more very small ones, which are also very nice. I only found one plant once, so it's not even doing very well at spreading out from here.
Right.
Which is funny, really, because you think that the cranberries would be very tasty and edible for a whole range of things to spread the seed around. No, don't know.
It's like a lot of our heathland species are very fussy, aren't they?
Yeah.
In terms of what they like in order to survive and grow.
Yeah, it's funny, really, because they're quite often fussy because sort of at the edge of their climatic ranges. But here you've got the field cricket. It's very much of its climatic range in terms of this is as far north as it gets, and the cranberry is sort of the opposite way around. This is a sort of southern outpost in the UK, whereas all the rest are further north. So you've got a funny crossover, which is probably quite rare in other places. Yeah,
very special little pocket of habitat that you've got here.
Yeah, yeah, we've got some other cool stuff over. It's hard. You can see it physically over there.
Yeah.
That's the bog woodland. There's supposed to be about 1,000 hectares of that nationally, so that's very rare. But it's very difficult to differentiate it between sort of wet scrub like willow and alder and stuff. But the key thing about it is that it grows downy birch trees to a certain size, which then, like Senes, their roots get too heavy on the mat of the mire. The roots will then go down into the water. They get too deep, so it becomes waterclogged and it dies. So it dies back. And because it dies back, a new plant grows. So it's self regulating. It just grows, they die, it keeps going and going and like that. Sort of thing again that is much more common in Scotland. But down here, pretty rare.
So Charles has asked, are they any different to the cranberries we eat for Christmas lunch?
Yeah, these are much better. No, I don't know, Charles, I'm afraid not. I assume that the cranberries you eat for Christmas lunch will be a horticultural variety, but I don't know.
Yeah, something that's kind of more mass produced, or?
Yeah, they can get quite big, these cranberries. But yeah, no, don't know.
Craig says, thank you, great to see the heathlands and the sculptures as well. So I think really that finishes off our sculpture trail exploration, and yeah, we'd encourage anybody to go out and have a look and find out a bit more about their local heath. Also learn about why these heathlands are so important and how once they were connected, more joined up than they are now. And the work that we're doing to try and make sure that the remaining pockets of lowland heath that we have left remain. So head on to the website, download the Sculpture Trail leaflet, share the videos, let other people know about our heathlands and ways they can help us protect and look after them. Say bye-bye for now. Say bye-bye, Steve.
Bye.
Bye.